tight. Hold my baby squid, keep them out of sight. Talking about my life, government stay away. If you drive, I'ma do it my own way. Squid in the ocean, swimming all alone. Ain't nobody telling me where to go. Living free, gotta stay true to myself. No need for interference from anyone else. Squid pro quo, that's the way to be. Living on my terms, setting myself free. I'm to my baby, protecting with my no government intrusion. I control my life.
Hey guys, it's Squid. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to Swampy Sundays, where we expose everybody's bullshit. Sorry, I forgot to put on lip balm, and I am parched today. It was freaking hot, and then it stormed, and it was just ugh. Update on the internet situation. We were having problems overnight, so tomorrow afternoon there is a tech coming out to look at my internet, and if they cannot fix it, and it is something with the wires in my neighborhood and not the actual house or the equipment, I am changing internet companies because I am not paying for something that is supposed to be offering me one thing and giving me another. Wish me luck. Cross your fingers because I'm getting sick of this bullshit. Anyway, hey Jeffrey, I hope you're still here. Mom, as always. Gail, good to see you. Timothy, how are you? And Deborah, good evening, everybody. Good evening to you as well. And tonight is not for the week. And I say that in the sense of this is going to take us a couple of streams to get through because this document is very long. But for a decade now, we've heard Russia, 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 almost like Marsha, 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 if you are old enough to know, which most of my audience is. So you know. However, hold on, she was sitting right here, and then she started about 2 minutes before I went live, threw a giant ass hissy fit, temper tantrum, and went over there. She needs to go to sleep. She is tired, but yet here we are. So this is going to be a... I have to go take care of her for a second because God knows Mama can't do anything without the little wanting to derail. She was fine right before I hit the go live button. And then when I start talking to y'all, all of a sudden then she wants everything. Angel, what can I do for you? All right. So we've been hearing about this Russia, Russia, Russia for the better part of a decade. Well, it's declassified, at least some of it. Not yet. I am saving them for this week. They're all in this closet right here, all of her stuff. The only stuff that she was able to play with were things that she saw me open up and I could not hide from her. So let's start this over. I have to take care of my toddler that's trying to crawl across her father's desk. I will be right back. 1 second. Hey guys, sorry, somebody is a little upset that she was told not to climb across the table. Because Lord knows, you tell a toddler no, and all you know what's breaking loose. Are you okay? You okay? No. You want a napkin? Okay, hold on. No kisses for mommy. She's mad at me. So no kisses for mommy tonight. I'm the bad guy in her mind right now. So there's a couple of documents that we're going to go through. First is the timeline. Let me open this up. And this is, like I said, this is going to take us a couple of times to get through. The actual document is 141 pages. I've been through like 30 of them. A lot of them are redacted, so we'll see exactly how much. But we've all heard Russia, Russia, Russia for the better part of a decade. But all you hear is headlines, and you don't actually see documents, and you see stuff from the way someone wants you to see it. You don't see what was actually said by the people involved when they thought nobody was watching. Because it's not about what people say when they're in front of Congress. It's not about what people say they're being interviewed on CNN or Fox News or MSNBC or interviewed for the Washington Post. It's not about what the New York Times writes. It's about what they wrote in emails and memos between themselves when they thought nobody was watching. That's what I want to get into, because I want to know what people thought and what people said when they thought nobody was watching. Because I was told when I was very young, it's not about what you do, being a good person. It's not about what you do when people are watching. It's about what you do when people are not watching. Making progress on any goal. It's not about what you do when people are watching. It's about what you do when no one's watching. Some of these emails and these memos between people are what was happening when they thought nobody was watching. It died? Oh, no. There it is. There it is. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. High five. Okay. Are you better now? Yes. Okay. And just like that, our attitude changes. Yes. I will help you. 1 second. Got to help with the game. And remember how I said we don't make decisions based on emotions? Toddler, perfect example. How 1 minute we're really, really pissed and angry and we hate everything and everybody. And the next minute, everything is fine. And hugs, I love you. Everything is great. So we never make decisions based on emotion because we don't. I couldn't do it. You want to try again? Yeah. You try again. You try. No? Okay, Mom, we'll help. She plays this game on YouTube called Cats or Cat Escape. And Lord knows if I don't help her, every once in a while she gets stuck on a level. And I have to help her, and now I can't even do it. This is where it's mom first, YouTuber second, right? I can't do it either. I can't do this either. And it doesn't help that I'm stressed. Baby girl, we're gonna have to do it later. I can't do it. Avery, girl, you're gonna have to do it by yourself. You're all of a sudden went from not wanting my attention and sitting there nice and quietly in your little spot to wanting every second of attention. This is what happens when we are exhausted as well. She goes from not wanting anybody's help in anything and not wanting to talk to me to I have to help her with everything. Baby girl, I can't do it right now. You're going to have to wait. You're going to have to wait or play a different game. then you're going to have to play a different game because I can't do it. I can't do that level right now either. I think it's a generational issue also. Older people remember when we had bomb training in school. People don't see Russia the same way now as compared to the Cuban Missile Crisis. Yeah. Yeah, you always wanted my attention when I was on the phone. Yeah, she was sitting here quietly. I was in 3 Awesome Dogs stream while I was prepping the documents and opening them up. And then all of a sudden, when I pressed that live button, she went crazy with a tantrum because she wanted to climb on her dad's desk. And when I said no, So this is the overall timeline. They titled it the Memo and Timeline Revisited. They call it a hoax. They call it a Russia hoax. I don't call it a hoax necessarily. I just call it a diversion of attention. I learned a long time ago, not when I was young, but just from being in the military, that when you want someone to focus on one thing, or don't want them to focus on something that you are doing, like, I don't know, bombing a country where we have no interests and we still haven't found weapons of mass destruction. Not getting political or anything. They come up with some other crap. So deflection and projection is real. So it's yeah, I don't think we have to worry about nuclear war because our military is too strong. They will sabotage infrastructure. But here's the thing. They didn't do anything. Russia did not do. From what I'm reading, they had nothing to do with what the American public was led to believe that they did. And that is why we are reading the documents, because what mainstream media told you is fucking lies. And excuse my language with her, but Russia did not do this is not, and this is where I get pissed, because I have a lot, whenever I talk about it, well, Russia did, no, actually not according to the documents that I'm reading. All right. So this is memorandum for a Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard. Subject: intelligence community, suppression of intelligence. And I said intelligence in the description of this video because anybody who's ever been a government employee or in the military knows government and intelligence is an oxymoron, because they are some of the dumbest people. Some, not all. A lot are good people, but you have some of the dumbest people that work in the government because there is no accountability. So these people get to be lazy. They might have started off as good people, but they get lazy, and they're allowed to be lazy, and they're allowed to be shitbags because there's no accountability. Intelligence community, suppression of intelligence showing Russia and criminal actors did not impact the 2016 presidential election via cyber attacks on infrastructure. A timeline of events as evidenced by the attached documents as is follows. Key intelligence manipulated and withheld from the American people by the intelligence community. Before the election, August 31st, 2016, DHS official tells former DNI James Clapper that there was no indication of a Russian threat to directly manipulate the actual vote count. An overall risk due to cyber incident, we are working with CIA on a PDB submission on the threat. The thrust of the analysis is that there is no indication of a Russian threat to directly manipulate the actual vote count through cyber means. However, as seen in recent media reporting, any cyber activity directed against the election infrastructure is likely to have an effect on public confidence, even if the cyber operation is unsuccessful or not intended to impact the election. The theft of personal information from a voter. September 2nd, 2016, the FBI requests for their whistleblowers pre-election assessment on alleged Russian election activity in an upcoming pre-election ICA to be softened, given the FBI was uncomfortable implying that there was definitive information that Russia does intend to disrupt our elections. And I'm sorry, what everybody's heard of taking out ads on Facebook. Who cares? The amount of fucking a foreign country took out political ads on Facebook to influence people. Do you know how many friggin' political action summits and PACs and candidates and shit take out hit ads on other people and negative ads? Like, it's not that big of a deal. And if you're convinced by an ad on Facebook on how to vote instead of doing your own research, you probably shouldn't be voting anyway. Just saying. So, like, if you are swayed by a Facebook ad on how to vote, there's a reason that people take advantage of uninformed voters, because they easily manipulated because they're stupid. And being ignorant is one thing. Like, being ignorant, like, everybody's ignorant. When it comes to like brain surgery, I'm ignorant. It's just not my area, something I know. So I'm ignorant. That's the definition. But it's being willfully ignorant and not doing anything to change it, but telling people that you're an expert is where I have a problem. It's these people who get on social media and act like they're smart and they're not. Or they get on their platform and claim to be experts in certain things and they're not. I do not claim to be an expert in anything. That is why we read the documents. Because I like to learn and I like to read the actual documents so that we're not swayed by anything except for what these people actually said to each other. So we were told some really big lies about what was going to happen. And people are easily scared when they're uninformed. Hence, 2020 was the perfect 2020 was the perfect, how do I put this? If you take that out of that year, out of the grand scheme of things, and you look back at it and you realize how stupid people were, I'm sorry, buying toilet paper because of a respiratory disease is quite possibly one of the stupidest freaking things that you could ever freaking do. I never understood that, but people got scared and freaked out. Like, I just can't, like, and before I get my stream demonetized for anything related to 2020, we're going to go back to 2016. It's not what the Clintons want us to believe or social media tells us to believe. We have to trust the woman that deleted 50,000 emails on a private bathroom server. She knows best. Oh, yeah. So true, AP. I know, right? If I would have done what she would have done, you know how fast my ass would be in Leavenworth making big rocks into smaller rocks for 12 hours a day? All right. Below are inputs from the FBI. Sorry for the delay due to the long weekend. We have several folks out. On page 5, under redacted, adversaries with intent section, we would prefer the first sentence regarding Russia's intent to be softened. The way it currently reads, it would indicate that we have definitive information that Russia does intend to disrupt our elections, and we are uncomfortable making that assessment at this point. We would suggest editing the sentence to read as the following. Changes highlighted. Redacted, we judge Russia to be the only nation state with current means and possible motivation to use cyber attack to disrupt the 2016 election or to deny political legitimacy to a presidential candidate. We would also suggest editing the title of that section to instead read something along the lines of something redacted, evaluation of likely adversaries, so that it doesn't mislead the reader to believe that the intelligence community currently has information indicating Russia has a known intent to influence the elections. This sentence right here at the bottom, so that it doesn't mislead the reader to believe that the intelligence community currently has information indicating Russia has a known intent to influence the elections. That means September 16th or September 2nd of 2016, they had exactly zero intelligence that Russia was going to do anything. Zero. 2 months before the election. Zero. Absolutely nothing. Zero. So they went from zero intelligence, 100% zero intelligence to, and this is where I would really like to compare what was being said in these memos and these emails and the documents that we're going to look at with the headlines. And I might eventually start looking into that. Because that's one of those things where I'm really curious of what the headlines were when these people were writing these memos behind the scenes. What were the headlines saying at the time? Because that'll really tell you something. That'll tell you a whole lot of something. Yeah, toilet paper panic. In February, Bondi handed out binders to conservatives for Epstein files phase 1. Since then, she's done a complete wait. This is not Amber. This is nothing to do with Epstein. We're going to get there because I heard a rumor. A couple people have put it in tweets and stuff that Trump ordered the release of the grand jury testimony. And if that happens, we will be reading that. However, this has nothing to do with that. This has to do with the Russia stuff that was just made declassified on July 15th, I think, was when this was made public. So, guess what? Amber, stay on topic. And found liable in a civil trial is a lot different than being found guilty in a criminal trial. There is a large difference, and tell me you know nothing about the law without telling me. And if you continue to spam my chat on shit that has nothing to do with what the fuck we're talking about, one of my mods will handle you because we're just not doing this. Tell me you don't know anything about the fucking justice system, the difference between civil issues and criminal issues without telling me. You just told me that you know absolutely nothing about nothing without having to say more than that sentence right there. That's literally, you just told me that you're stupid. So you just literally told me that you have no idea. And guess what? Not a lot of other people do either, so you're not alone. But the fact that you think you know, you're one of those people that I was talking about, where you think you are an expert at something. You read headlines and you think you know what the fuck you're talking about, and you really don't. So, bye. Either stay on topic. You're welcome here if you stay on topic. We are currently talking about the Russia documents that were just made declassified. If you want to stay on topic, you're more than welcome to stay here. If you don't, I will be more than happy to boot your ass myself. Actually, I'm pretty sure my mother will be more than happy to boot you because she just loves to do shit like that. So, all right. September 9th, 2016, an ODNI and PDB official says that an upcoming PDB should make clear that Russia probably is not trying to influence the election by using our cyber means to target election infrastructure. Several IC officials agree. Guess what? Amber, you're done. I told you once. I told you twice. He has vascular or venous insufficiency. Guess what? 1 in 20 people have that. Shut the fuck up, bitch. I'm done with you. Gail, can you time her out 5 minutes at first, and then if she comes back and starts getting off topic again, I derail myself enough. I don't want to, yeah. Thank you. Amber, please listen to the topic being discussed or suffer the consequences. We have squids back. Yeah. Hi, baby. We have 151 pages of stuff to get through, and I would like to get through as much today as possible. And we are only on page 2. So Amber, your TDS is showing. And the fact that you don't know, I'm also a licensed healthcare professional who worked on a cardiac unit. with a lot of people that have that. 1 in 20 people have what President Trump has. But guess what? There's a difference between having veins in your legs that don't pump blood back to your heart appropriately and a brain that doesn't work like you. So bye, bitch. Sorry. Yeah, and Gail, if those files are released, we will be reading them. So yeah. And actually walking is one of the best things that you can do for that, by the way. You just have to wear compression stockings and put your feet up. And when you're standing for 8 hours to 12 hours a day, blood runs downhill. It's why when you fly or when you walk a lot, your feet get swollen. It's no different. It's Trump has varicose veins. That is God, you dumb. Girl, you are stupid. And the fact that you can't see that is just fucking hilarious to me. Here, page 2. Russia probably is not. And I'm sorry, when you are the director of national intelligence, shouldn't you be using, or when you work when you work this high up in government, shouldn't your, she probably doesn't know what neuropathy is either. Yeah, I know what neuropathy is. I can't feel 2 of my fingers right now. I'm only 39 years old. I wonder if I can make it for the last next 3.5 years. I can't feel 2 of my toes for 90% of my day, which is why you always see me shift around, because I still have cysts in my spinal cord, and we're not actually sure what permanent damage that those cysts have done to my spinal cord. We have to wait for the fluid to drain out of them before we can actually see what damage is done to my spine. So why don't we just get rid of Amber? She can come back in 24 hours. But I have a feeling she's going to be one of those people who downvotes me, which is fine because she needs the boot. She got the boot for 24 hours. Yeah, she got the boot for 24 hours. She can come back tomorrow or the next time that we cover this. No, I started early because Mr. Squid went to bed on time. So I don't like to stream when he's going to sleep. I like to stream when he's already established in bed, because that way, because she's a daddy's girl. And if he's sort of in bed, where he's just going to bed, she'll run in there and I have to go chase her because she'll wake his ass up. So I like to wait till everything is everybody's calm until she starts hitting me with a duster, because we were cleaning today. So, but getting back to this, unfortunately, Squid, she derailed for well over 5 minutes. The rest of us were on Russia time. I find it interesting that in 2016, prior to the election, Putin was running circles around Obama on the world stage, which is a lot of where this Russia is the devil crap came from and still does. And guess what? I can't say that I'm a fan of Russia. I cannot say. I just can't say that I'm a fan of Russia. I don't like a lot of people. I don't like people. I don't people well, as you've witnessed by Exhibit A. And I don't like to time people out, I don't like to boot people from this chat. There are only 3 people who are blocked from this chat, and Amber is not one of them. It's just one of the situations of but you notice how Trump was never a bad guy before he decided to run for president. Everybody wanted to be him. Obama called him the epitome of the American dream. Everybody wanted to be him until he didn't agree with you. And now all of a sudden he's the bad guy. But so when you're the deputy director of the Russia probably is not trying to. English, you should be pretty versed at how to speak properly and how to type properly. Russia is probably is not trying to. Going to be able to, quote, question, influence the election by using cyber means to manipulate computer-enabled election infrastructure. Russia is probably using cyber means to primarily influence the election by stealing campaign party data and leaking select items, which is not good, but Russia's not the first country to do it. But yeah, AP brings up a good point that prior to 2016, which was when I kind of dealt with them. I was in the military at the end of the Bush administration, the beginning of Obama, and things changed rapidly so fast. I have never seen a change like that in my entire life, be it I was 21 at the time, 22, but like, holy shit. We went from being able to do things to having no money, not being able to do stuff. We literally sat there like this. We couldn't afford to fix our planes. It was bad. You also got in trouble for like voicing your opinion. Yeah. And it is also using public propaganda, which would be those Facebook ads. But guess what? CNN and MSNBC and Fox News and Newsmax and everybody does that. Unless you're actually reading documents word for word, if you have an editor looking at anything, you always put your own spin on it. Nothing is completely factual. Everything is an opinion. This fits a historical pattern. Of Russia using less sophisticated propaganda and information operations to influence elections. The lead author on the PDB agrees. I took the intent of this email to get the basic starting point regarding Russia. We agree with Russia probably is not, that just, I'm a grammar Yahtzee. Oh my goodness. Hi, beautiful. And will not trying to influence the election by using cyber means to manipulate computer-enabled election infrastructure. Oh, she's obsessed with babies right now because the baby is a girl. Are you talking?
Hi.
Yeah. I also can words the English good, Director of U.S. National, Deputy Director of U.S. National Intelligence. Yeah. Once the CCP lost and became Russia, it opened it up to corruption. If you want to learn about corruption, look at Russia. The only AP class I took in high school was AP European History. So I learned a thing back then about a lot of things. Angel. We agree Russia probably is not and will not trying to influence this is hard to read, the election by using cyber means to manipulate computer-enabled election infrastructure. Yes, if we're going further, while Russia has some capability to conduct cyber manipulation of election infrastructure, we judge that efforts by them or others to change the outcome of an election through cyber means would be detected. Yeah, and the thing is they forget, like, if you're going to try to do stuff, like, we have protections against that. We have people that are trained to find these things. Daddy's asleep. Okay. If you're going to go in there, bye. If you're going to go in there and sleep. Then I can get a bed all to myself tonight. No worries. It irks me as well. My mother has her master's in English. I just worked with so many speech therapists who focused on not actual like sentences, but like I worked with so many cognitively impaired people that wanted to speak well and couldn't based on their physical health. that when people can speak appropriately and don't, it irks me. So it's it irks me because I had so many patients that were like struggling to even say their own names, let alone like, so when someone can't, and the fact that I struggle with speaking sometimes too because of my surgery. So when someone has the capability of doing it and can't or won't, I get frustrated. Yes, if we're going further, while Russia has some capability to conduct cyber manipulation of election infrastructure, we judge that efforts by them or others to change the outcome of an election through cyber means would be detected. That's a key element of our cyber-focused PDB. We assess that foreign adversaries, notably Russia, are more likely to focus on their cyber operations on undermining credibility and public confidence. I'm sorry, half of these people in Washington, all they have to do is speak, and they undermine their own credibility. Hey, Dion, how are you? I didn't see you. How are you? I must have missed something. Oh, and Amber, I know your channel is only like 3 years old or 3 months old, so I know that's probably not you. That's either an alt account or whatever. So please hit that down button, and please leave me a nasty comment because I can't wait to talk to you in the comments because I'm gonna light your ass up. Just like I do have a hater of the week segment, but we're gonna wait till tomorrow when there's more people. Because she deleted her comments so nobody can go back and to look at them. But I got screenshots. We assess that foreign adversaries, notably Russia, are more likely to focus their cyber operations on undermining credibility and public confidence. That assessment feeds directly into the influence operations, some cyber-enabled, that we've seen related to current and historic election cycles. We concur with CIA's change related to that. A redacted Chief NCCIC Intelligence Support Branch, Department of Homeland Security, Office of Intelligence and Analysis. Intelligence and analysis is just stupid. For $200 each, this was over 2 months of wages for a single Russian soldier. But U.S. messed with other countries' election. Yeah, for decades before Squid was born, and they tried to mess with ours. Ask Squid's dad if he remembers the Bay of Pigs. Probably not in the sense of might have been a little young for that. Because wasn't that 62, 63? So my parents were young. September 12th, the intelligence community publishes an ICA on cyber threats to the election. The report finds, quote, foreign adversaries do not have and will probably not obtain the capabilities to successfully execute widespread and undetected cyber attacks on election infrastructure. Shocker. We judge that foreign adversaries do not have and will probably not obtain the capabilities to successfully execute widespread, undetected cyber attacks on the diverse set of information technologies and infrastructures used to support the November 2016 U.S. presidential election. We only have moderate confidence in the overall threat assessment of redacted. 2 days later, the IC publishes the aforementioned PDB with near identical findings. It finds that foreign adversaries do not have the capability to covertly overturn the vote outcome. October 7th, ODNI and DHS suppressed the above September intelligence findings in their press release. Shocker. That states with confidence the Russian government directed the DNC and DCCC hacks. Their statement omitted the fact that the FBI and NSA had low confidence in attributing the data leaks from these entities to Russia. Note, there is still supporting evidence indicating the Russian government directed the hacking of DNC and DCCC. November 6th, Donald Trump defeats Hillary Clinton and wins the 2016 U.S. presidential election. After the election, the The IC is working on a new PDB examining the potential impacts of cyber hacks on the election results. DNI's Clapper's office develops talking points based on the PDB's findings. See, when you have to come up with talking points instead of just releasing the information and letting people see the information for themselves, it's a problem. Foreign adversaries did not use cyber attacks on election infrastructure to alter the U.S. presidential election outcome. We have no evidence of cyber manipulation on election infrastructure intended to alter the results. So look, even his talking points were, we have no evidence of cyber manipulation of election infrastructure. Yet the next 4 years, all we heard was election interference, election Russia. So Amber, or whoever the hell you are, if you're still listening, look, they said it themselves. Look, the actual documents said it themselves. You dumb bitch. All with the PC having to move to Friday morning, please send me proposed TPs and scene setter by 1500 on Thursday. For all of you normies, it's 3 o'clock. Separately, for everyone's reference, below are the revised TPs that DNI mentioned at the back brief yesterday. What I did lift was key lines from the draft PDB that is attached. Activity on and since Election Day. We assess that foreign adversaries did not use cyber attacks on election infrastructure to alter the U.S. presidential election outcome this year. We have no evidence of cyber manipulation of election infrastructure intended to alter results. Yet 4 years, and how much, it's not the fact that they kept saying it and that people fucking believed it. That is one issue in itself, but it's the amount of money that they spent trying to keep up this bullshit charade. Like, yeah, dirty politics and media. Isn't that what Hitler did in the 30s? Was if you can control the media, you can control the masses. I'm just saying. There was, however, minimal targeting of election infrastructure, probably by cyber criminals to steal data, which, I'm sorry, like, you can get a 16-year-old with a computer that can probably do better than most foreign countries in getting your data. It's really not that hard. It's really not that hard if you know what you're doing. Although these efforts did not disrupt the election, unattributed denial of service attacks against election infrastructure were reported on Election Day, including a 4-minute attack against an unspecified Illinois elections website that had no impact on the website's availability. And sometimes people just like to fuck with shit because that's what they do. Hackers do that because they like to piss people off and annoy people. That's what they do. They do it for fun. Just like I like to get under people's skin for fun. Since the election, cyber attacks linked by signals intelligence to Russia's SVR on 9 November conducted multiple election-themed spear phishing campaigns. December 8th, IC officials discussed the draft PDB, which finds that, quote, Russian and criminal actors did not impact the recent U.S. election results by conducting malicious cyber attacks against election infrastructure. The group also decides the PDB will be published the following day due to high administration interest. Cyber manipulation of U.S. election infrastructure to remain a challenge. This is for the president, 8 December 2016. We assess that Russian and criminal actors did not impact recent U.S. election results by conducting malicious cyber attacks against election infrastructure. And then, due to the high administration interest, this piece is now scheduled to run tomorrow. Therefore, we now ask that coordination responses be sent by 2 p.m. so that the production process for tomorrow can be completed. Ooh, look at that. Look at that. The first sign of A few hours later, after initially co-authoring the PDB, the FBI, led by FBI Director James Comey, whose daughter was, you want to know deep state. Guess who prosecuted Jeffrey Epstein? James Comey's daughter. Guess who prosecuted Diddy? James Comey's daughter. So you really want to go conspiracy theories and deep state. Guess who didn't get found guilty of a lot of the things that most people think he should have found guilty of? Did he? Guess who? Well, you know what happened with the other one. Yeah, but that is true. I think she's a shitty prosecutor, but I mean, if you really want to go conspiracy theory level, her dad was the director of the FBI. She prosecuted these people and apparently either really sucks as a prosecutor or didn't try very hard. And when you're there's a conspiracy theory there. I'm gonna leave it here. I'm gonna leave it right there before my channel gets demonetized. But so I stay on YouTube's good side. However, we we still want to make sure that we stay on the good side of YouTube. Yeah, I don't argue with that. Considering he had the whole the Hillary and the email situation. So yeah. The lady friend also said organized corruption there is horrendous. Yeah, organized corruption anywhere in any government entity is horrendous. And the funny thing is that I cannot understand is why when people are starting to uncover this corruption and starting to make these things public, why people are more upset at the people making them public than the people who are actually corrupt. That is how you know that people have some mental health issues. When you're more pissed off at the people uncovering the corruption and the waste and the fraud and the horrible things going on than the people actually doing the horrible shit. Like, make it make sense. Make it make sense. FBI inexplicably withdraws from coordinating on the product and notifies other IC officials that the FBI will be drafting a dissent. FBI will be drafting a dissent this afternoon. Please remove our seal and annotations of co-authorship. Later in the afternoon, a senior PDB official kills the PDB based on some new guidance. The post-election PDB, which once again assessed that Russia did not hack the election, was never published. Just saying. Yeah, it's so funny that people that are I no doubt that the U.S. has an affluence problem. I don't think that there's a systematic issue with like race or anything like that or gender. I think it's a money thing. If you have money, you're not seen as highly, but the poorest person in America can go to another country and still be like seen as a rich person. Here's a side note on that. It's just one of these things of like, we always talk about money and people being rich and poor, but do you notice people vote the same way? The people that are poor vote the same way and are still poor. It's like you never thought of maybe changing the way you vote and what you vote for. Sorry. Is she up? Is she waking you up? She's passed out now? All of that, and she's passed out. Yeah. Elitism versus common folk. We're still wealthier than most countries. Yeah. Like, Hitler was the time. Yeah, and I have an issue with that. Yeah. That's the thing. 38, Hitler was Time Magazine's Man of the Year. Today, they say not for being most influential man, but for the greatest threat to democracy. So I think if you actually read the article, it says he was the it did say that he was the most influential man of the year, but not for a good thing. So it's, yeah, she's passed out and he's awake. Make it make sense. But see, like, she will not. She was fine here until the minute I turned on the computer. And the minute I turned on the computer, and then she wanted her daddy, because she's a daddy's girl through and through. So it is what it is. But yeah, and Obama won the Nobel Peace Prize. But yet, yeah. Like, Baby Squid was tired when she said that I'm jealous. When she's super tired, Baby Squid's asleep. Fun. Yeah. And these are the things where I know I'm not going to get many viewers on this because, like, it's not a drama stream. Yeah, you have the idiots that come in and try to troll, but if you're going to try to troll, like, look at her comment. Like Amber's comment about, thank you for telling me you know nothing about the justice system and the difference between a civil trial and a criminal trial. Criminal, if he actually did anything, she would have pressed criminal charges. He would have been criminally prosecuted. But no, she had to go after him civilly because there's a much lower standard of proof and convincing that you need to win in a civil trial. Also, if you just get a jury in a certain state that doesn't like you, sorry, it is what it is. Like, it is what it is. Like, juries can be biased. We all know. We've seen it. Anybody who's trial watched for more than a day has seen it. But the irony while droning people to death. Yeah, civilians too. Not just people who scream death to America, but civilians. One thing of covering legal cases, I've learned, and especially certain cases that, like one in Florida that's very popular right now, people have absolutely no effing idea how anything in the legal system works. Not a damn thing. And yet they think they do because they heard it somewhere or someone told them. It was like, yeah, but who told you? Have you actually seen it with yourself? No. December 9th, Obama White House gathers top cabinet officials for National Security Council Principals Committee meeting. Clapper, Brennan, Susan Rice, John Kerry, Brian McKeon, Loretta Lynch, Andrew McCabe, and Avril Haines are among those in attendance. Here's all the people. Sorry, there is a fruit fly flying around my computer, and it's driving me nuts. I can see it. After the meeting, in an email titled POTUS Tasking on Russian Election Meddling, Director of National Intelligence James Clapper's assistants. And I think if you put Clapper not in front of Congress, but like in a courtroom, he'll be the first to cave. Like in a deposition, he'll be the first to, like, he'll fall like a house of cards. James Clapper's assistant sends an email to ODNI leaders tasking them with a creation of an assessment per the president's request. ODNI leads effort along with CIA, FBI, NSA, and DHS. Well, and this is why I read the docs, because the docs don't lie. People lie, but the documents are the documents. And what's in the headlines and what's in the documents when you're covering cases ain't always the truth. That's why during this last election cycle, what did I do? I watched a shit ton of political ads, and we fact checked them on both sides. And we looked for the information that was cited in those political ads, and we found out who was telling the truth, who wasn't, and who was selectively taking the truth out of context. It didn't matter what side it was on. I hate everybody. Yeah, I had heard about that. Obama was the president that received approval to kill Americans on foreign soil. Go look it up. Still can't believe it. I'm waiting for that to get removed again. Somebody screenshot that. Ugh. Oh, and I always thought peace prizes are stupid tools given a time to manipulate certain outcomes. Yeah, I'm actually reading multiple books on dark psychology and manipulation, and it is fascinating. It's reading one and listening to another. It's fascinating. Like, it's fascinating. And just because you hear it or you see it on one source, you need to compare like 3 or 4 sources, and you need to look at what they're telling you, but also what they're not telling you. All pursuant to the POTUS tasking Monday's meeting on Russian election meddling for comprehensive assessment, the DNI broached the TPs below with Dennis McDonough and DCIA and the Russian PC this afternoon. Rather than brief it, he just handed a copy of the TPs to Dennis and mentioned it to DCIA, who both said they were okay with the proposal. I'm sure that there may be some bureaucratic hurdles still, but the DNI's directive was to move forward with the paper as outlined. See below the exact TPs he handed COS POTUS, which I'm amended slightly in keeping with the DNI's expressed intent. The IC is prepared to produce an assessment per the president's request. That pulls together the information we have on the tools Moscow used at the actions it took to influence the 2016 election, an explanation of why Moscow directed these activities and how Moscow's approach has changed over time going back to 2008 and 2012 as reference points. ODNI will lead the effort with participation from CIA, FBI, NSA, and DHS. The goal would be to produce a highly classified version of an unclassified version. The classified version would include a comprehensive analysis of Russia's activities, drawing from all available sources with a target delivery date of 9 January. The unclassified version would follow the classified delivery and, to the greatest extent possible, would include the same information while still protecting sources and methods. The goal would be to make the unclassified document publicly available. Like, since leaving school, I've learned so much more because the information on what happened and how we got there is more important than the big events. Yeah, it's never the big things that influence. It's the little steps. Changing the definition of a word, changing the way someone is viewed, taking something off the internet or making it harder to find, or gaslighting. And when someone says something, when someone gets called out on saying something, I had never said that, you're hearing things. Well, when you get the media, who people at one point in time trusted, to say, well, you never heard that, we never had said that, and people believe that. People stop believing what they see with their own eyes and start believing what people tell them. And that's how you get people to be easily manipulated. It's not a hard process. It's just time consuming. But here we are 25 years later, and it happened. Because it happened so slowly that people don't realize. Even Jake Tapper started to realize that he's being manipulated. He was on a show, and he has a 15-year-old son who wants to be a cop. And he was on a podcast, and they had said something about I guess he hates, or what does he think of people of color or black people? And it was like, Jake Tapper was like, my 15-year-old son does not care about people's race and this. And he said on another podcast, he was like, he doesn't see that how he's the problem still. But he was like, and this is why you keep losing elections. It's like a 15-year-old boy who wants to be a cop because he wants to help people does not. You just called a 15-year-old boy racist for wanting to be a cop. Just because he wants to be a cop. He's 15. And he's the son of an uber liberal, deep end Jake Tapper. That Jake Tapper segment, or a segment on Jake Tapper's show is what got CNN sued by Zach So just remember that. Just remember that. We have to catch up on those. Lawsuits too. I have a lot to catch up on those. Oh my goodness, we are so behind. But yeah. So CNN got sued because of a segment on Jake Tapper's show. So Jake Tapper is not the most upstanding citizen in the world. But when even he is like, wait, you just called my 15-year-old a racist for just wanting to be a cop. Do you not see how this is a problem? When even Jake Tapper has his eyes opened a little bit, you know shit's gone crazy. Just saying. And hey, Gabby, how are you? Gabby, it's good to see you. I have a YouTube saved recorded audio from the 1920s of a Civil War veteran discussing what led up to the war and how it was twisted to get more black people fighting for the Union. Yeah, even back then, shit was twisted. Like, I don't... And the fact that people are trying to act like history is clean, and like in the formation of any country is clean and simple, like, no. Like... like the formation of the U.S. You took over, or you slaughtered tribes. Yes, that's true. Was that horrible? Yes. But you're also not taking into account that those tribes fought each other all the time. So, not saying that one is better than the other, but it's not the first time. The Russian Empire, the Persian Empire, like, are we not seeing how history is not clean, how history is not simple, how history is a bunch of people stealing other people's shit? like history is not easy. And that's when people are trying to make it seem like it's this simple thing. And it's like, oh, we did this. Do you not see that this is not a simple thing? And the only way to repeat it is not to whitewash it and make it seem like it's simple and easy and all sunshine and fucking rainbows. It's not. That's why we're reading this, because this is history. This is 10 years ago. It's now history. Sunshine, not sunshine and fucking rainbows. Like, mainstream news has paid out probably $1 billion plus over propaganda reporting us true. Yeah. The color of your skin is the most absolute moronic thing to prejudice anyone for. I know, right? Like you literally, it's literally something that you couldn't help. Can't help who your parents are. You can't help. It's like making fun of someone for being born poor. It's like, you can't help who your parents were. You can't help what color your skin, but we all bleed red. Like, at the end of the day, we all bleed red. Like, we all lucky as fuck to be here. Woo! All right. Assessment will address the following questions. How did Moscow seek to influence U.S. presidential election in 2016? What tools did they use? Hacking, leaks, cyber activity against the voting system, media spin, trolls, fake news, domestic Russian intelligence efforts. Why did Moscow direct these activities? What did the Russians hope to accomplish? And I'm sure it's not just Russia that's doing it. And I'm sure it's not just us that they're doing it too. I'm sure every country on every fucking planet or on the planet is trying to influence other people to get their fucking way. It's how life works. Gail, I think he sent it to me. I'm not sure though. Oh, screenshot is okay. Never mind. It's just, this is not an easy, like, this is not simple. This is not, and yeah, you're going to hear shit about people that you might not agree with, that you're going to hear shit about them that you don't like. You might be the biggest Obama super fan and you're going to hear shit that you don't like. You might be the biggest Trump super fan and you're going to hear shit about him that you don't like. But guess what? You don't have to like someone to think they are good at their job. And you don't have to hate someone to think they are bad at their job. They can be a good person and suck at their job. A lot of people do that. Like, yeah. That same day, deep state officials in the IC began leaking the blatant false intelligence to the Washington Post. Oh, the WAPO. as proven by the unpublished PDB and previous IC products claiming that Russia used cyber means to influence the outcome of the election. They were just talking about... bye, Gabby. They were just talking about how Russia didn't do anything, that they didn't have a noticeable impact on anything. Like, and now it's like, oh, it's so stupid. It's like, and the fucked up part about it is people believe this shit instead of doing their own fucking research. Though Russia has long conducted cyber spying on U.S. agencies, companies, and organizations, this presidential campaign marks the first time Russia has attempted through cyber means to interfere and not actively influence the outcome of an election, the official said. I believe that shit's a lie because they literally said 2008 and 2012 as a reference point. Later that evening, another leak to the Washington Post falsely alleges that the CIA concluded in a secret assessment that Russia intervened in the election to help President Trump. The CIA has concluded in a secret assessment that Russia intervened in the 2016 election to help Donald Trump win the presidency, rather than to just undermine confidence in the U.S. electoral system, according to officials briefed on the matter. I think the fact that when people say that people are too stupid to get an ID in order to vote, when you need an ID to fly, you need an ID to buy alcohol, buy cigarettes, you need an ID to drive a car, but yet people are too stupid to get an ID because they're either calling Black people too stupid to get an ID because is the most racist shit I've ever heard in my life. And the fact that you can't see that, or some people can't see that, it's like, what the hell is wrong with you people? Do you not understand that, like, telling someone they are too stupid to get an ID based on the color of their skin? I don't know one fucking person in the world that's too stupid to get an ID. I don't. I've never met anybody in my life, and I've met a lot of people in my life, some who I really consider pretty damn stupid people, but none stupid enough not to know where to get an ID. And I'm sorry, but Kamala and Hillary and all you people who think out here in the rural we're too stupid to use a computer. Yes, my internet sucks, but guess what? I can still do it. Just saying. Oh my goodness. At this point, there is no official IC assessment that contains that conclusion. December 14th, IC officials again leaked to the media, this time claiming that IC officials believe with high level of confidence that Russian President Vladimir Putin was personally involved in the U.S. election hack. U.S. intelligence officials now believe with a high level of confidence that Russian President Vladimir Putin became personally involved in the covert Russian campaign to interfere in the U.S. presidential election. Senior U.S. intelligence officials told CNN, or told NBC News, NBC, CNN, same shit. But here's the thing. Also, when you use senior U.S. intelligence officials, put your fucking name by it. If you don't put your fucking name by it, it's not true. Yeah. I heard that Black folks can't access the internet or mobile devices. That literally is like so damn stupid that was ever said. And I'm like, and the fact that people like, one, people believe that, and two, people don't call other people out for that being the most racist freaking thing. The only thing more racist than that is saying if we get all the illegal immigrants out of our country, there will be no one to pick our food. That is the other racist thing that's flying around these days. And I'm like, how do you not see how fucking racist you are? Speaking of lurkers, hey lurkers, if you're not subscribed, you can't chat. Want to chat? Click that button. And how much you want to bet Amber's still subscribed to me? Because, you know, the people that hate me the most are my biggest fans because they watch everything I fucking do. Like Jeff. Like Jeff. Jeff, I like you. You like me. But I know that you don't have the time to watch every stream of every minute of every stream I do because you are busy doing, I don't know, life. But the people that hate me watch every damn thing I do. Like every damn thing. And it's like, yo, don't you have the time to like, go to work or, like have a life, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, kids? Do you not? Like, do you what, exactly. And that's why I laugh and I say, thank you for the ad revenue because you're awesome. Like, December 16th, though President Obama admits there is no evidence of machines being tampered with during the election, he says he was concerned that potential hacks could hamper vote counting and affect the election process. But here's my thing also, people only claim that an election is rigged when it doesn't go their way. If you're comfortable sharing, how did you do that? And please don't say if you fell, because that would be really crappy. Because that hurts my OT brain. That hurts my OT brain. It hurts my OT heart. Like, yeah, whatever gets crops picked the cheapest. And how about you pay people? These are the same people that bitch about people, U.S. citizens, making a livable wage and raising the minimum wage. It's like, well, how about you pay people a decent wage and you don't worry about paying people under the table? How about you just do that? Like, yeah. It's like, oy. All right, what I was concerned about in particular is making sure that WikiLeaks Clinton emails wasn't compounded by potential hackings. Well, guess what? If she didn't want those emails put out there, you shouldn't have tried to fucking delete them. Like, you shouldn't have tried to friggin' delete them. Oh no. Okay, that's a little bit more than just a. Okay, well, it wasn't a loss of balance. Like you stood up and you fell, like, or you were climbing on a ladder and you fell. Like, that was someone wanted to be funny and wasn't. But yeah. But I do know a trick for if you know how to use kinesio tape, you can kinesio tape your rib and it acts like a brace and it kind of holds the rib together and it makes breathing a lot easier. So, wasn't compounded by potential hacking that could hamper vote counting and affect the actual election process itself. And so in early September, when I saw President Putin in China, I felt that the most effective way to ensure that didn't happen was to talk to him directly and tell him to cut it out. I'm sure you didn't tell him to cut it out. I'm sure you didn't say shit. President Obama on hacking the vote. Oy. Reality multiple IC assessments before and after the election consistently showed no credible reporting of Russian intent or capability to do what President Obama alleges. Oof. Yeah, if I can find something, like, I know how to do it just because, like, I was trained in it. I was on the rib fracture committee and my job. But if I can find a like a handout or something on the internet, I will send it to you on how to do it. Depending on where it is, it's easier because a rib, you can't put your wrist, you can put a brace on it and keep it from moving your ribs every time you breathe, expand. But putting kinesio tape, starting here, just an eye strip, starting here and starting at your anchoring it towards your spine, pulling it and having it retract back will keep your rib in place. It also depends on where the rib is, but you have to go in line with the rib. So if it's one of your lower ribs, you have to go on the angle that your rib is. Otherwise, it's kind of pointless. But Yeah, I had to think about. I had to go in the Wayback Machine and think about which way to anchor it, because you can anchor it here, but wherever you anchor it is where it's going to pull back to. So you don't want to anchor it at your sternum. You want to anchor it at your spine or near your spine and go forward so that it'll pull back and bring it together. Otherwise, if you do this and it pulls forward, you're going to be in a world of hurt. So I had to use my brain for a second, and it had to I had to think. So I had to use I had to go from that to like reading brain to OT brain, rib fracture brain, and back. And sometimes the switch doesn't transition fast enough. All right. Late December 2016, due to the ODNI whistleblowers questioning his leadership about what an IC assessment was being created that contradicted multiple IC assessments, the whistleblowers immediately removed from emails regarding the drafting of the Obama-ordered IC assessment. The whistleblowers sidelined, despite the fact that they led the ICA on similar topics in September, just months prior. Oh, thanks. I was just using it as like here's where my rib, like I was putting my hand on my rib and pinching and like trying to think of what the tape would do. That's how I passed a lot of classes when I was taking tests. You'd see people like doing muscle testing on themselves like this, and like you'd see people like all the time, like what muscles are here, and like palpating their arms. And like you'd see people like moving joints to see what they needed to answer for these questions on these tests. It was hilarious. Ugh. All right. Late December 2016, early January 2017, the National Intelligence Officer for Cyber Pressures, the ODNI whistleblower to accept a number of findings in the Obama ICA, including that the Russian government had a preference for President Trump. As for the 2017 ICA's judgment of a decisive Russian preference for then candidate Donald Trump, I could not concur in good conscience based on the information available and my professional analytic judgment. ODNI whistleblower. The whistleblower will later recall that his superior said, "You need to trust me on this," and referenced reporting the ODNI whistleblower was not allowed to see. January 6th, 2017, the Obama administration shares the unclassified ICA with the public. It falsely alleges, and this is where the people were saying that there's possibly charges. I'll believe it when I see it. I don't believe anything's going to happen. It falsely alleges, based on part and further information, that it had come to light since the election that Putin directed an effort to help President Trump defeat Hillary Clinton. This further information is later confirmed to be the Steele dossier. This assessment also suppresses intelligence from before and after the election, showing Russia lacked intent and capability to hack the 2016 election, deceives the American public by claiming the IC did not assess the impact of Russian activities. Reality, the IC did, in fact, assess for impact. The unpublished December PDB stated clearly that Russia did not impact the election through cyber hacks on the election. Assesses Russia was responsible for leaking data from the DNC and DCCC, while failing to mention that the FBI and NSA previously expressed low confidence in this attribution. And then it goes, repeats what it just said. Almost 3 years later, September 18th of 2019, the whistleblower assists in a FOIA request related to the Obama ICA. Specifically, an IC official asked the ODNI whistleblower to search for material related to the Steele dossier, as it was a factor in the Obama ICA. This revelation shocks the ODNI whistleblower, who had been told that DNI Clapper viewed the Steele dossier as untrustworthy. Interesting. Election group, suspense COB, Tuesday, 9/24. Shelby believes this should be responded to by the NIC as the dossier was a factor in the 2017 ICA on the election interference in which an assessment of the document was added as an annex. Please review the attached document and conduct a search for the time period May 2016 through February 2017 of all records and communications, including emails on both .gov and non.gov accounts, text messages, and instant chats between the Office of the Director of National Intelligence, including but not limited to former ODNI Director James Clapper and the Office of the Director of the Federal Bureau, the FBI, including but not limited to former FBI Director James Comey regarding the collection of memos known as the Steele dossier, the infamous dossier. Oh. The assertion was in contradiction to what the National Intelligence Officer for Cyber Issues had previously implied, and at no time during the prior 3 years had any of the National Intelligence Council staff members suggested to me the IC viewed the Steele dossier material as credible. ODNI whistleblower recalled learning of the Steele dossier's inclusion in the ICA, and that is all 11 pages of the timeline. So that's just a overview of the timeline. However, I do have some. So we'll do our hater of the week right now because I don't think we're going to get too much into that. We've been at this for almost an hour and a half. I do want to share these. This is so I did put up a community post. I cleaned out the let's see, image file. Let's see if I can do this. I'm going to do this a different way. I did put up an image of my home gym. So I cleaned it all out. I got all the spiders out, and somebody noted that I was funny. I was like, I wasn't trying to be funny. I think it was Kevin who pointed out that I wasn't trying to be funny. All right. I got all the spiders out because of the fact that I found some of them same spiders that were in my car. I found them in other places in my car. I had to throw out my bench because there was a bunch of what I think were spider eggs. And I did not want to, it was kind of like, instead of cleaning it, I just threw it away and just burned the whole shit to the ground. I have to get I have to get more mats. I'm going to get one right here. There's next to this rower right here. There is next to this rower, there's a deep freezer. So I have to get another set of 3x4 mats to put right here so I have more room. But I'm trying to figure out where I'm going to put the computer and try to get a setup for in there so we can work out together. I have to get a bench too because I threw mine away. But I changed this. I changed it up a little bit, and that box will not be there. That is Baby Squid's trampoline for her birthday. So, well, that's the thing. I can't, one of the things of like, I can't lie because one, my memory sucks and I can't remember what I lied about. So like, what's the point in trying to lie? Because then like one, everything I've said is on camera. So if I lie, you can go back and you can be like, literally, that's not what you said last time. So two, I can't remember what I lied about. And I got too much going on and too much other shit to worry about than trying to remember what I said on camera. I have no problem with spiders. I have a problem with poisonous spiders around my daughter. And brown widow spiders, yes, not as bad as brown recluses and not as bad as black widows, but they're the hybrid version. I don't want poisonous spiders, and I don't want anything with a widow in it. I don't want brown widow spiders in my garage. I just don't. We have the house. The house is sprayed. So what I think happened was I think what happened is when the house got sprayed, they went to an area of the house that wasn't sprayed. There was a bunch of them that were dead, but and there wasn't a lot. There were just, I think they went to a place, he didn't spray my bench. So I think they went to a place where they, they could hide. So I understand that 100%. They got the name Black Widow because they eat the male they mate with. Yeah, and these are brown widows. So it's they're literally not as poisonous as black widows, but it's if brown recluses and black widows had a baby. That's what these are. And they're no. Yeah, but here's the thing. That's true. But certain spiders I don't have a problem with. Yeah, I don't like them particularly, but they eat bugs. It's fine. But brown widows, like y'all, I'm about to freak you guys out right now. I'm really about to freak you guys out right now. Because let's take this away. Oop. I'm really about to. That was my car. That was my car. So, yeah. No. 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 And you can see it's got a red dot on it. No. If my car wasn't as new as it is, I'd have burnt that motherfucker to the ground. So we just gotta, we got some hiding to do. So my hater of the week, I gotta share. So somebody commented on my video the other day, and she that is a very full example. Black widows are shiny black. But yeah, that's a brown widow. So that's not a black widow. That's a brown widow. Yeah, that's a brown recluse and a black widow. Ugh. Anyway, so my video on this is where I will show you guys my last video. Yeah, I really hate you, Squid. Terrible. So this person, Kathy Clark 5272. Come on, get on with it. Stop. And this was on the update on Friday. Stop all this small talk. You're starting to make crap up just to prolong. And so I have to find where I actually said Dose Reality actually commented first. Dose Reality had said, some people like to get to know a person and listen/discuss other things than what you are interested. You can always get the information yourself, and then maybe you can do a live stream, and that is all about you, and you will like it more because everything is all about you. Dose Reality is amazing. She literally just says it like it is. she says, she literally says, some people like to get to know a person and listen to discuss. You know, I like talking to chat. I like talking to you guys. And you can always get the information yourself, pay for the documents yourself, and then maybe you can do a live stream that is all about you, and you will like it more because everything is about you. And then me, being the bitch that I am, well, yeah, I just call it like hybrid with words, not the actual like hybrid with the two, but like the words, because a brown recluse and a black widow are like my two worst nightmares. So a brown widow is like makes me think of both spiders, and it's just, yeah. So, and I was like, if you're going to insult me, at least sound like you passed 6th grade English class. Also, please enlighten me about what I am making up. I'm all ears. I literally read court documents, documents submitted to the court. Please tell me what I am making up. And then she didn't comment at all. So I said, still waiting. 8 hours later or 12 hours later, because, I'm that person. I made a comment that says still waiting. And then this is what her response was. And y'all can tell me what you think of this, because you know me, I don't I don't do this, and I'm really bad at this. Sometimes I have to stop talking about things because I'm like, we don't have time for this. It's so annoying when YouTubers sit and blab on for 10 or 15 minutes about stupid stuff no one cared to listen to, basically so they can have a longer video. Stop with all this small talk and get right to the point, which is supposed to be about what the hell's court. Well, one, Spawn was on my channel, and we derail each other all the time because that's just what we do. And secondly, I interact with chat, and sometimes y'all bring up things that I didn't think about, or y'all make fun of other cases or relate what we're talking about to another case. And yeah, we kind of get sidetracked, but oh well, shit happens. And I said I was talking to my chat and my guest. Nothing about it was too prolonged. I enjoy interacting and having conversations with people. If you don't like it, don't watch. But it's not an airport. There is no need to announce your departure. But thanks for the view. But you still never actually said what I was making up. And that's the thing. Well, and that's the thing. Like, if you're going to tell me I'm making stuff up, please enlighten me. What am I making up? Please enlighten me. I like the ones that said they wanted to unsubscribe because they didn't want to hear the commentary. Yeah, it's like, I have a point and it's pointy. Hey, Bad Duck, how are you? And KU Thunder, how are you? Almost, it's like your channel and you can do what you want. I'll get to that in a second. Yeah, legal vices, 17 minutes of bullshit. The obligatory, but also like at the very beginning of stuff too. Like, it takes YouTube a while. So YouTubers, like in the very beginning, you get housekeeping stuff, what you're planning on doing, other things that you're talking about, people that you're going to have on in the future streams, whatever, because it takes YouTube a while to send out notifications. So for a while, you'll only have like 50 people when you know there's going to be 300 people in chat. But right now, like, nobody got notifications. Like, it's going to take people a while to get here. So, like, what happens? But you know me, I like to talk. Sorry. I'm just a talker. But I did meet somebody who can talk more than me. And my mother. Yeah. The ultimate Southern insult. Bless your small little heart. I also, Timothy, I pair that with I'm gonna pray for your family, because I'm not gonna pray for you. I'm gonna pray for your family because they have to put up with you and your attitude on a daily basis. I just have to see you on the internet. It's like she hasn't had experience with YouTube streams. Yeah, I was like, there's a difference between a live stream and a recorded and edited video. Because a recorded and edited video, you get straight to the point and you edit out the us, the, you know, uh, uh, you edit out all the awkward stuff, the trying to skip through pages of stuff. Like, you generally don't have that in an edited video. And sometimes, like, you know, yeah, that's my go-to Facebook insult is, I'm gonna pray for your family. It's like, bless your heart. I'm gonna pray for your family because they have to put up with this attitude on a daily basis. Once I turn off my computer or close my app, you don't exist. That's my go-to. But let me, and I'm just closing this every time to make sure that I don't dox myself. And this is also what I said. Oh, here. And she said, don't worry, it was the first time channeling you. And what the fuck are you? Are you fucking psychic? Am I dead? Like, what are you channeling? Do we need to call in Moosey and get like something? Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. I did ask for people to comment, even if they didn't like me, because remember, the YouTube algorithm is screwing over small creators. So I did ask for people to comment. But this is funny because she deleted all these comments. And I said, and yet you still felt the need to tell me that I wasn't running my channel up to your standards. Was Audacity on clearance today? Oh, y'all. Oh, and Kasha, thanks for becoming a new YouTube member. All right. And then here's a new person who I haven't seen before. And if you are watching this stream, I just want to say that I really love the name of your channel. Veteran helping veterans. I really would like to know what you're doing. And I would really like to talk to you about that, because that name of that channel, I really would like to know. I have to look into more about that. But like, I'm always I always like to see a, channel, Veteran Helping Veterans. That's a really nice channel name. I kind of like that. But like, was your Audacity on clear? I swear, some people have Audacity like they got it on freaking Amazon Prime Day. I'm just saying. She may be psychotic. I mean, psychic. Not I had it right the first time. Yeah, and if she's watching, like, y'all, I do make people, I do give people their 15 minutes of fame. Because all she had to say was, like, hey, didn't mean it like that. If you have a disagreement, I understand shit gets like, but the original thing was, you're making shit up to prolong your stream. One, I don't do that. I just talk a lot. It's what I do because I just talk a lot. But like, and especially if Spawn's on here, if Spawn Trooper, if you're still watching, you know, you and I we talk for hours, and sometimes it's like, I gotta go. And then it's like, we're still talking. It's like, I gotta go. We're still talking. 20 minutes later, we're still talking. I gotta go. We're still talking. But she never actually answered my question of what I was making up, because I don't make up shit. I read documents and I give stories about my life that's not making up, relating to those documents. But I think this is where we are going to, and hey, you live in life with FND. Bye, Kathy Clark. Go bark at a tree. Oh, like mother, like daughter. I like your stream. That's why I keep showing up. And I like having you here. And I like people being here. It's like, yeah. And they don't answer because they don't know. And I kind of antagonized her a little bit because I was like, still waiting. Because when people say you're making shit up or you're lying, please enlighten me. Like, what do you think I'm lying about? Like, I really want to know. Like, it's not antagonizing, but when you say it, and then I got to give Dose Reality credit, though. Her comment was fire, and she was the first person to respond. Was like, well, how about you go start a YouTube channel and you can talk about everything you want to talk to, because then it'll be all about you. And I was like, apparently she was the only person who was mad, though, because like everybody else in chat was just talking. It's just what it is. we discuss stuff. Like we talk. Like we talk. We are not going to get into this tonight. I will save it for next week. But do. Oh, JKD Buck, good to see you. Oh, and Bad Duck, you're hilarious. And Bad Duck, you never Bad Duck, you if you ever think you're disrupting the stream or whatever, like you never do. You're fun. Like I know I never get offended by you because you don't mean anything to be offensive. You're just having fun. And that's one of the reasons that I love you, because you're fun. Because you can joke around. And you can joke around. I did. Did I not say hi to you? I brought up your comments, so I thought I did. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. All right. This is 114 pages. We aren't gonna read all 114 pages because, as you can see, a lot of it'll be quicker because a lot of it is redacted. However, we're not going to get into it tonight because it's already 9 o'clock and I have to be out of my house at 6:45 in the morning because I told a friend of mine that I would go to the gym with her at 7 a.m. Wish me luck. So we are going to talk about, if there are no new What the Hales documents, we are going to talk about a new case tomorrow. It is a 17-year-old in Carroll County, Georgia, who is accused of unaliving her parents, her mom and her stepdad, because my channel is becoming infamous for covering kids who unalive their parents, because my whole thing is why. But we also have some family members coming forward who think she's completely innocent and that the state has no proof that she actually did stuff. So we are going to get into that. As of now, there are no new What the Hales documents. That stream will be at, I think I set it for 11:30 because I have to be done by 3, because between 3 and 4, somebody's coming to look at my internet. So I have to be done off the internet by 3. So yeah. Oh, Kasia, I really do like you, and I'm trying so hard. But sometimes but with comments like this, you make it so hard. From your favorite Georgia and Packers fan. So yeah. See, and this is where people are like, people that hate me or people that don't understand like comedy, not comedy, because I'm not a comedian, but people that don't understand like certain types of friendships and people, especially military friendships. Whereas like Spawn and I will be like, I'll walk up to somebody in the military, like poor Marine. I'll be like, hey, effer, did you get a new pack of crayons for your birthday this year? Like, but most people, civilians will look at that. You're so mean to each other. It's like, no, that's just how we communicate. Whoa. Never share your internet. Quick history, delete. Yeah, someone's coming to look to make sure my internet is working properly. But it's one of those things of like, we don't like, and some people, and I keep using Spawn as an example because he's the person that it happens the most often with, that you guys know. When we disagree on something, it's like we either go, yeah, that's probably a cultural thing. You wouldn't understand, you're not British, or you wouldn't understand, you're not from the US. Look at our perspective. And I tell him my perspective, or he tells me his perspective, and we're like, okay, we still don't agree, but whatever. That's just something we're never going to agree on, and we move on. Like, we don't get mad at each other, or when we do get mad at each other, I just go, like when he jokingly kicks me out of his streams, I'll be like, all right, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. And people are like, do you get mad at him? It's like, no. No. Yeah, for 5 minutes. And then I realized that, oh, that's just Spawn. That's just how he is. That's how we communicate. And we'll be fine tomorrow. And the only reason I'm using him as an example is because y'all know him and you have seen him on my channel. So if I tell you that I do that with my friends, you don't know my friends. So me telling you I do that with a couple of my friends and in real life friends, and you're like, I don't know who these people are. Your friend meant 7 a.m. Pacific. No. Yeah, trust me, you should hear Robin Spawn. Yeah, it's insane. All right, so the 128 variety pack, feed a platoon. Yeah. But that's just how we are. And if you ever go up to, this is how you can tell if someone's like either an officer or they just don't have a lot of military friends. Like they were military, but they were never like one of the guys, is if you say something like that and they get pissed or they get offended. It's like, yeah, tell me you weren't actually military without telling me. Like you're either lying or you're just a pussy. Just saying. All right, guys. We will get into this. These are all emails. See, like I said, like it'll be quicker in the sense of some of this stuff is so redacted that it won't have to be read completely. However, or it can't be read completely because look at that. Like you don't know who this email went to because all the recipients are redacted. But here's the thing. These are all the emails. This is what people were talking about when they thought no one was ever going to see them. And guess what? Now we see them. We kind of got an overview with that 11-page document. But now here's the people actually saying it for themselves. Like, yeah, that was kind of a worthless read. Which one? The overview? I think the overview was worth it because it kind of gives you a timeline. It just gives you the timeline. And now this is what people are saying when nobody's looking. Always hilarious hearing the Marines get bagged on, but the vast majority are who you want in a fight. No fear. Yeah, I want enlisted Marines. I don't want officers. I don't want the only officers that I want anywhere are pilots. So, just saying. So I will make fun of everybody, but same thing with the Army. Like I want enlisted because a lot of them are the ones who actually did the job, and they're the ones who actually know what the hell they're doing. What don't know what's worse, the redaction or the meta messages about downloading torrents at work? I don't know. No, it tastes like green crayon, of course. I've never, yeah. Bad duck, does it taste like grass and not the fun one? Mom. All right. Y'all, on that note, it is 9:20. Since the little is now in my room, sleeping in my bed with her father, I'm going to go in her room. She has a full-size bed that is comfy, and I'm going to have it all to myself, and I'm going to sprawl. So I'm going to go to sleep. I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a great night. Let's see where we can redirect you to. Like, no, don't leave. Let's see where we can redirect. And thanks for all of you that hung out. And she, that Amber chick must still be here because I gained a subscriber during this. Let's see. And we are almost at 4,100. We are almost at 4,100. I don't know how the hell that happened. And guess what? Guess what? We have 100% likes. So that person never disliked the stream. So poop on her. See? Told you she was a fan. Amber likes us. Sorry if y'all weren't here. Go back and watch the first part of this stream because it's funny. Hey, Shizzy's live. So we're gonna go tell Shizzy I said hi, and that's why nobody's here. Everybody's over at Shizzy. Jeffrey, thanks for the $2 super chat. So then the night is at least somewhat lucrative. Yeah, I worked for less than minimum wage. So I got $2. Well, probably with ad revenue, $4. So $4 in 2 hours. You know. I appreciate you, Jeffrey. Thank you so much. All right, go tell Shizzy that I said hi, and I will see you guys on the next one. Bye.